Hello, my name's Karina Thompson and welcome to another episode in the series Mastering the Basics of mySewnet embroidery software. In this episode I'm going to be showing you how you can change the colour threads in your embroidery design, as well as combining and colour sorting them. If you're interested in learning more about embroidery software, are a subscriber or own a copy of mySewnet, why not subscribe to our free YouTube channel? And that way you won't miss out on any of our episodes. I'm on a PC in this film with the platinum level of software, but everything I show you today you can use in any of the paid for versions of the software. And the principles are the same if you're on a Mac computer. So I have this design in my hoop that I've created. I've got these 4 bells that I've cut and pasted into a little design, and then I have a flourish on the top and bottom. But there's some things that I want to change about this design. I want these flourishes to be the same colour, red, as these bows. And also, if I'm on the Home tab and I do select all, if I look on the design panel, I've got 22 colour changes here. It's going to take me forever to stitch this out. So let me show you how you can change those colours and also change that number of colour changes on there. On the design panel over here, if I put my cursor over any of the colours, 2 things happen. In the main hoop, that part of the embroidery design changes colour. In this case, can you see that top flourish is appearing blue? If I move my cursor onto the second one, the bottom one, can you see it has changed colour again? And basically that colour change is there to help you try and see which part of your embroidery design that thread colour is in. And the second thing is a dialog box opens up telling you the suggested thread for that part of the embroidery design. Now in this case, in this design, I'm looking to change the colour of those top flourishes so that they match. They're the same red down here as the bows. So again, can you see that bow has changed colour? It's the bottom left hand one because I've put my pointer over. But what I'm actually going to do, so I've clicked on the colour number 1 and we're going to actually change it. The blue box is showing that that is the active part. Now down here is the change colour button, so I'm going to click on that and that opens up the colour selection dialog box. And there's a couple of choices in here. For instance, if you have a thread cache, you could actually look at your very own specific thread ranges, or if you check the show all thread ranges, basically you'll find all the main thread manufacturers listed here, all their charts. But in this case I'm going to stick with the Robson Anton Rayon 40. Now the quick colours are a useful way very quickly to identify what a colour might need to be. So for instance, if I click on the red, here are the main reds in terms of the Robson Anton, but in actual fact I know that I am after a very specific red, which in this case is all the way down here, the 623, and I'm just going to click OK on that to select it and then click OK, and can you see I've changed it to that red. Now I'm going to do the same on the other flourish. Now instead of using the button down here, if I do a double left click, that will open up that dialog box for me. And in actual fact, if you do know your thread colour number, if you have the shade card, or perhaps you can get the code actually off the reel itself, you can type that in. So in this case I know it is 2623. And it's found it automatically for me, and I'm going to click OK. So hopefully you can see that's a couple of different ways that you can open up the colour selection box and make changes if you need it. So you can see that we've got an awful lot of colour changes in here, 22. So how can we reduce that? Now over here again on the Home tab we have the colour sort button. Now at the moment, because we've got a whole selection of different embroideries in there, if I just hit the colour sort at the moment, nothing's going to happen here. You can see we've still got 22. What we actually need to do is we need to combine our design. Then we can do a colour sort. So the combine button is above that. If I click on that, I've got 3 choices in here. I could combine all, which in this case I'm going to want to, but the combine selected might be useful. Let's say that you've got something going on, you've got a different frame on here and you only want to colour sort the centre of your design. You could select it and then choose combine selected. And the third option is fix as stitches, and that tends to come up if you have either a super design or frames or flourishes or lettering, anything where basically you have green handles. And I don't know if you've noticed, we actually have some green handles or nodes on our flourishes. So in this case, basically I want to combine all. So to start off, I'm going to do that, and look what happens over here on the film strip when I do that. So I'm going to click combine all, and straight away that has basically combined all those aspects of the design. It's no longer a group on my film strip. So be aware, you want to combine your embroidery right at the end. You don't want to combine it too soon, because you want that option. You might need to edit and change it. Okay, so you'll be looking to combine and colour sort right at the end of your design. And now what I'm now going to do is I'm going to click on colour sort. And straight away, can you see my design has actually gone down to 5 colour changes. Thread my machine up and it would stitch out all those colours in the right order at the right timing. Just so that you know, the colour tone allows you to change basically the whole brightness or contrast of that design. So for instance, if you wanted to stitch this out perhaps in a pastel version, that would automatically make those colour suggestions for you. But of course the most important thing to bear in mind when you're working with colour on embroidery software is, in many ways, it actually doesn't matter what the colours are saying over here. What's really important is the thread itself that you put on your embroidery machine. So my golden rule for working with colour in embroidery software is do your combining and colour sorting right at the end. Leave your options open to change your design till right at that last point, unless of course wading through hundreds of colours on the design panel is proving inconvenient. And the most important golden rule is, remember, it's actually the thread that you put on your embroidery machine is the most important colour choice that you need to make when you're working with digital embroidery. If you found this a useful film, please like us and don't forget to subscribe to our channel so we can help you master the basics of mySewnet embroidery software. Happy sewing!